Everyone knows the Ford Bronco looks amazing, but what if I told you it's hiding 5 real advantages that most people completely miss? Let's uncover why the 2026 Bronco is quietly outsmarting the Jeep Wrangler and every other off-roader on the road. The 2026 Ford Bronco is full of smart engineering decisions that most people completely overlook. It's got features that quietly give it a real-world edge over the Jeep Wrangler and Toyota 4Runner, not just on paper, but where it actually matters: on the road, on the trail, and in everyday life. If you've been comparing off-roaders and wondering why the Bronco keeps standing out, these 5 hidden advantages explain exactly why. Number 5. Independent front suspension. Let's start with something most buyers don't talk about enough: the Bronco's independent front suspension. A lot of people assume a real off-roader needs a solid front axle, like the Wrangler uses. It's a classic setup that's great for durability, but not so great for comfort or precision. Ford decided to do things differently. The Bronco's independent suspension lets each front wheel react separately to the terrain. That means when you're driving over rough pavement or hitting small bumps on the highway, the cabin stays composed and smooth instead of bouncing and vibrating. Anyone who's taken a Wrangler on a long highway drive knows that solid axle feel. Every crack in the road transfers straight through the steering wheel. The Bronco, on the other hand, feels calmer and more refined. But here's the impressive part: this comfort doesn't come at the cost of off-road performance. Ford engineered this setup to deliver excellent wheel articulation and traction when the going gets tough. Whether you're crawling over rocks, crossing a muddy trail, or climbing steep slopes, the Bronco maintains steady control and grip. On top of that, the steering response feels sharper and more predictable. When you're making tight maneuvers between trees or correcting your line on a rocky trail, the Bronco reacts immediately, giving you confidence that it'll go exactly where you point it. That balance of comfort, control, and capability sets the Bronco apart right from the start. Number 4. Turbocharged engine lineup. Next, let us talk power. The Bronco's entire engine lineup is turbocharged, and that is a huge advantage over naturally aspirated rivals. The base engine is a 2.3-liter EcoBoost 4-cylinder that makes 300 horsepower and 325 pound-feet of torque. Compare that to the Wrangler's standard 3.6-liter V6 with 285 horsepower and 260 pound-feet of torque. On paper, they look close, but how they deliver that power is completely different. Because the Bronco's turbo builds torque early, you get strong instant pulling power at low RPMs, exactly where it matters off-road. When you are creeping over obstacles or climbing a steep hill, you do not have to rev the engine or feather the throttle. The power's right there, ready when you need it. That low-end grunt also makes city driving smoother and towing easier, all while using less fuel than a bigger naturally aspirated engine. And Ford does not stop with the base engine. Step up to the 2.7-liter EcoBoost V6, and you are getting 330 horsepower and 415 pound-feet of torque. If you want something truly wild, the Bronco Raptor's twin-turbo 3.0-liter V6 delivers 418 horsepower and 440 pound-feet of torque. Monster numbers for a factory off-roader. So whether you're crawling trails, towing gear, or just blasting down the highway, the Bronco's turbo engines give you effortless power and better efficiency, a combination few rivals can match. Number 3. Cargo space advantage. Here's a more practical benefit that often goes unnoticed: cargo space. The 4-door Bronco offers 35.6 cubic feet of storage behind the second row, and up to 77.6 cubic feet with those seats folded down. The Wrangler Unlimited, by comparison, gives you about 31.7 cubic feet behind the seats and 72.4 cubic feet total. That is roughly 4 to 5 extra cubic feet of usable space in the Bronco. Enough room for more camping gear, coolers, sports bags, or groceries. The design of the cargo area is also more practical. The floor is flatter, the sides are squared off, and there are fewer awkward intrusions, so it is easier to load large or boxy items. When the rear seats fold, you get an almost level surface, perfect for long gear or even sleeping bags during an overnight trip. It is a small-sounding detail that makes a big difference when you actually live with the vehicle. Number 2. Ground clearance that matters. Next up, let's talk about ground clearance, a spec that off-road fans obsess over, and rightly so. The standard Bronco starts at around 8.3 inches of clearance, already solid for light trails and rough roads. But move up the lineup and it just keeps getting better. The Badlands trim with a Sasquatch package jumps to 11.6 inches, and the Raptor version, a massive 13.1 inches of ground clearance. To put that in perspective, the Wrangler Rubicon sits at 10.8 inches, and the 4Runner TRD Pro at 10 inches. That means the Bronco Raptor rides higher than two of the most respected off-roaders on the planet. More clearance means less scraping on rocks, better approach and departure angles, and a lot more confidence when you're tackling deep ruts or uneven trails. It's one of those stats that looks impressive on paper but feels even more impressive when you're out in the wild. And the Bronco glides over obstacles that would stop others cold. Number 1. Retro design done right. Finally, let's talk about something that can't be measured in inches or horsepower: design. The Bronco's retro modern look is one of its strongest selling points, and Ford absolutely nailed the balance between nostalgia and modernity. Those round headlights, the upright grille, the squared-off fenders. They all echo the original 1960s and 70s Broncos, but nothing feels like a copy or gimmick. Instead, it feels like a fresh, modern interpretation that honors the past while looking forward. For older enthusiasts who remember the first Bronco, and for younger buyers who simply love its rugged charm, the design connects on an emotional level, and Ford has doubled down with special editions that celebrate its heritage. The Heritage Edition brings back vintage two-tone paint schemes and classic badging. The Wildtrak adds bolder, more aggressive styling cues. The Everglades trim brings unique colors and functional accessories. And the Raptor? That's the modern performance monster, same unmistakable Bronco shape but with a serious dose of attitude. Each version feels distinct yet instantly recognizable as a Bronco. Inside, the story continues. You get durable materials, modern tech like digital displays and advanced terrain management systems, and comfortable seating that makes long adventures easy. The best part? Personalization. Ford has made it incredibly easy for owners to make their Bronco their own. There are removable doors and roof panels, interchangeable grilles and fenders, a wide range of wheel designs, and an exploding aftermarket full of creative accessories. That freedom to customize and express personality is exactly what's fueling the Bronco community today, much like Jeep has done for decades, but with a more modern, refined twist. Closing. So there you have it. 5 hidden advantages that explain why the 2026 Ford Bronco keeps turning heads and winning comparisons. An independent front suspension that balances daily comfort with trail toughness. A lineup of turbocharged engines delivering instant low-end torque and excellent efficiency. More usable cargo space than its biggest rival. Ground clearance that lets it go where few SUVs dare. And retro styling that connects emotion, heritage, and modern capability all in one package. It's proof that smart engineering and thoughtful design can outperform tradition. The Jeep Wrangler will always be an icon, especially with its 2026 updates, hybrid options, and the V8-powered Rubicon 392 still in the lineup. But the Bronco's combination of comfort, capability, and character makes it a serious contender for anyone who wants an off-roader that feels just as good on the road as it does in the wild. The 2026 Ford Bronco isn't just a revival, it's evolution done right. So now you know the 5 hidden strengths that make the 2026 Ford Bronco such a game-changer. Which feature impressed you most? Tell us in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more car reviews and comparisons every week.